Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the fourth episode of our series Tajweed, the art of reciting the Quran. In Surah Ash-Shura verse 52, Allah Azza wa Jal gives us a very beautiful parable, a very beautiful imagery of the Quran. And He says, وَكَذَلِكَ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ رُوحًا مِّنْ أَمْرِنَا. This is how we have inspired a spirit, a life to you, O Muhammad. مَا كُنْتَ تَدْرِي مَا الْكِتَابُ وَلَا الْإِيمَانُ. You did not know what was the book, nor what was Iman. So Allah Azza wa Jal describes the Quran as a spirit, as a life, meaning that the one who believes in the Quran has a spiritual life, and the one who rejects the Quran, the one who turns away from it, he is spiritually dead. So this is a beautiful imagery of the Quran, that the Quran is the life of the heart. It is the food of the soul. He who does not have the Quran, he who does not believe in the Quran or recite in it, he is spiritually dead. Even if he eats, drinks, and walks on the face of this earth, spiritually, he is not alive. In our last episode, we had discussed the 5 primary areas where the sounds of the Arabic language originate from. In today's episode, we'll continue that discussion in some detail, and we'll discuss the makhraj, or the area of the tongue. And the tongue, of course, is the most common area where sounds originate from, and this is in fact not just in Arabic, in all languages, and that is why Allah Azza wa Jal mentions it specifically in the Quran when He says, أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْنِ وَلِسَانًا وَشَفَتَيْنِ. Allah mentions the favors that He has given to man, and He says, have we not given him 2 eyes, and a tongue, and 2 lips? So the tongue is the primary area where sounds originate from, and it is no surprise therefore to discover that 18 letters of the Arabic language, 18 out of the 28 letters of the Arabic language emanate and originate from the tongue. So in today's episode and in our future episode, we will discuss specifically the makhraj, or the area of the tongue. And the tongue is divided into 10 specific areas, 10 sub-sections of the tongue where letters come from. The first, and we're going, remember we're working bottom to top. We're working lowest to highest. So we did the areas of the chest, we did the areas of the throat, starting bottom to lowest. Now we start from the first area of the tongue, and that is the letter qaf. The letter qaf emanates from the furthest part of the tongue that you can possibly go up to the roof of the mouth, or the soft palate. Now look at the board here, and we'll do the makhraj of the qaf. Okay? You see that the qaf, the furthest part of the tongue away from the mouth, this area over here. Okay? Qa, qa, aqqa, aqqa. You cannot go further behind while you're using the tongue. Okay? Notice the furthest area. Okay? You cannot go further behind. This is the makhraj of the qaf, connecting the innermost part of the tongue, which is right above the throat. Right above the throat, okay? Connecting this area with the soft palate at the top. At the top you connected qa, qa. Okay. The letter which follows the qaf, and this is the letter where most people get confused with, between this and qaf, is the kaf. Now notice the kaf, you're using the part of the tongue which follows the qaf, right after the qaf. And you connect this area with the hard palate. Notice now, look, kaf, which is slightly higher than the qaf. The qaf was from there, and the kaf is from here. Okay? So we find that the qaf and the kaf, they are close, but they are not the same. They are close, but they are not the same. The difference is this, literally the space of a few centimeters, just a 1 centimeter if you like. The qa and the ka. Okay? For example, as Allah says in the Quran, وَلَكِنْ لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي لِيَطْمَئِنَّ قَلْبِي qa, qalbi. So the qa is coming from there. The kaf changes the whole meaning of the qalb. From, if you change to a kaf, you become from a heart to a dog, right? Qalb means what? Heart. And kalb means dog. So if you mispronounce these letters, you're going to change the entire meaning. Okay? وَسَادِسُهُمْ كَلْبُهُمْ كَلْبُهُمْ, as the Quran says. Okay? Kalb, dog. Kaf. So the difference between the qaf and the kaf is in precisely where the makhraj occurs. Notice we will do both of them. This is the qaf, right? And then this is the kaf, slightly below that, closer to the mouth. Okay? You notice here that the qaf occurs from this, and then the kaf occurs from that. Two separate areas close to one another. It is very essential that you differentiate between these two, or else you will change the entire meaning of what you're reciting. So the lowest part of the tongue, you use the qaf. Right above it, you use the kaf. Another way to tell the difference is that on the top of your mouth, you have what is called the palate, okay? And you have the hard palate, which is the hard area of the upper section of the mouth, and you have the soft area. If you put your tongue to the top of your mouth, you will see it, that there is a hard area, which is this area over here, okay? And then there is a softer area at the back of it, okay? If you put your tongue to the back, you can feel it. The qaf originates from the soft area. You move the tongue up to the soft area, qa, aqo. Whereas the kaf originates from the hard area, which is over here, okay? The kaf originates from the hard palate. These are the first two makhrajas, or ways where sounds are formed. The third is the middle of the tongue, not the back of it, the middle of it. And from the middle of the tongue, three letters emerge. Three letters emerge. The jim, the sheen, and the ya. So, ja. Say ja.
Ja.
You notice that the entire middle portion of the tongue is being used. Notice in the computer, ja, the entire middle portion. You see that very clearly here. Look at the middle portion. The entire middle portion, ja. Same applies to sha and ya. Ja, sha, ya. You use the entire middle portion of the tongue. Notice the sheen, the same middle portion, sha. You see the same middle portion, sha. And the same applies to the ya as well. And most people don't make mistakes in these letters because these are common letters that are found in many different languages. So, alhamdulillah, most people can pronounce the jim and the sheen and the ya properly because these are letters that are shared by many languages. And they are the exact same. Ja, sha, and ya, and the exact same pronunciation are found in other languages. This leads us to the fourth area of the tongue. And this is the most difficult letter of the Arabic language without exception. Which letter is this? The dad. The dad. The most difficult letter of the Arabic language to pronounce is this letter. In fact, it is unique to the Arabic language. No other language on the face of this earth has this letter. All the other sounds, you find them in other languages. But this particular letter, this particular sound, it is unique to the Arabic language. And this is why Arabic is actually called lughat al-dad, the language of the dad. Because no other language has this letter. Okay, so bear with me. It's a bit difficult to explain where this letter comes from. And unfortunately, even the computer can't really illustrate it in a good way, even though we'll show you what the computer has. But bear with me and pay attention. The dad is, comes from one edge of the tongue, not the both edges, one edge of the tongue, okay, connected with the upper molar teeth, either the right or the left side. Most people do it from the left side, okay, most people do it from the left, but some people do it from the right. Some people can do it from both. That's really advanced. The point is that, suppose for the general purposes, it is from the left side, because that's where most people do it from. So you take the left entire edge of the tongue. It's not a tip, it's the entire edge of the tongue, and you put it up to the molars, okay? You put it up to the upper molar teeth, and then you emanate air from it. Only one side of the tongue is connected to the upper molar teeth, not both sides. And then you put some air into it and you expel it. Okay, we'll show you what the computer has, even though it doesn't illustrate it very clearly, but it still shows you something. Here you see one corner of the tongue, one entire edge of it goes up to the molar teeth. Okay, and we're going to recite Surah Fatiha inshallah to get a better understanding of the dad. But this is the most difficult letter, so be patient. And as I said, recite to people so that you can get your pronunciation correct. It is a unique letter, so don't get frustrated if it takes time. This is the most difficult letter of the Arabic language. The fifth subset area of the tongue where a letter emanates from is the front edge of the tongue and the gum behind the canines. And this is the letter lam. So the letter lam or la originates from the front edge and not the tip. There's a difference. The tip means the actual tip of the tongue. Okay, this is the tip. The front edge means the upper portion. La, la. It's not the tip, it is the tongue, the upper portion. And this, again, most people have no problems with because the lam, la sound is found in many different languages. Notice here where it comes from. Okay, notice that the entire upper portion, la, not just the tip, it goes and it touches the gum of the mouth behind the canines. And the final makhraj, which we'll do for today, we'll continue in the next episode, is that of noon. The noon is similar to the lam, except that you use the tip of the tongue instead of the upper portion. Okay, so this is the difference between noon and lam. The noon, you actually use the tip, na. You connect the tongue to the molar behind the canines. You have the noon. Okay, notice here you actually use the tip. Okay, you use the tip, unlike in the lam where you use the upper portion. And once again, alhamdulillah, most people have no problems with the lam and the noon because these are sounds that are common in many different languages, including English. With this, we'll come to our practice recitation, and we'll only recite certain ayats because of time constraints. Let us turn to Surah Fatiha again because it has the letter Dad, and this is the letter that we wish to emphasize. Listen to me, and then listen to me first, and then repeat after me. We're going to start just from the. I'm going to recite the entire surah, and then you will repeat only the end of the surah to get the Dad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Repeat the last word with me. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم
غير المغضوب عليهم
غير المغضوب عليهم.
Notice the ضاد مغضوب مغضوب غير المغضوب عليهم
غير المغضوب عليهم
ولا الضالين
ولا الضالين.
It is very important that you don't make a dad into a dal or a d sound, because the dal comes from the middle of the tongue, but the dad, remember, it comes from one entire edge of the tongue along with the molars. With this, we come to the conclusion of today's episode. Inshallah, we'll continue the various letters that come from the tongue until next episode. We hope to see you then. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Master the Arabic language with the Arabic Teacher app, available now in the Google Play Store. Click the link below.